Finland's prime minister has been apologizing after a photo featuring two topless women kissing in her summer home has been making its rounds on the internet. So she offered a tearful apology for it. And it's this ongoing pattern of this young, vibrant, successful prime minister constantly getting hounded over the fact that she's too young, too vibrant, and too fun. And so they argue that she parties too much, that, a leader of a country shouldn't be having that good of a time. But Finland's doing real well on a number of different issues, especially when you compare their success to some of the failures that we're experiencing here in the United States. Now, in her apology, Sanna Marin said, "I think the picture is not appropriate. I apologize for it. Such a picture should not have been taken." Okay. And again, very tearful apology. And I think we've shown the image. Let's show it again. This is the controversial image that she is getting hounded about. Okay. Now, some hypothesize that she has been on drugs. So she even took a drug test to prove that she hasn't been taking drugs. It was a negative test result. In response to the controversy, people around the world are also supporting her by using the hashtag solidarity with Sanna, and they use images or videos of them dancing. So what do the Finns actually think about this controversy? Well, one national poll this week found that just 21% of Finns believe she spends too much time partying, and 42% strongly agree that the prime minister should be able to relax and enjoy herself in her free time. But 39% of the respondents said that the video does not correspond with their image of how the prime minister's job should be conducted. Now, the prime minister is center left. She's part of the Social Democratic Party, and she's passionate about all the right issues, environmental issues and women's rights. She has pledged that Finland will be net zero in terms of carbon emissions by 2035 and improve the nation's already generous parental leave system for both mothers and fathers, something that we don't have at all here in the United States. She also won praise for her swift, decisive leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic, and more recently, she secured Finland's entrance to NATO. All right, and look, if you want to compare Finland to the United States, they beat us on education. They beat us when it comes to the happiness index. In fact, Finland is tied with Denmark and New Zealand for the least corrupt countries in the world, according to Corruption Perceptions Index. Finland is the happiest country in the world, according to the World Happiness Report. I mean, the list goes on and on. So like, you guys are doing well. And you have an energetic, exciting prime minister. And I want to go to the very last video here, because while I don't want to appear as if I'm going after Biden solely for his age, I do think that there is a positive aspect of a young, energetic leader that fires up the country, right? Whereas on our side, with our president, we've got Biden, who can't stop himself from going off on weird tangents during important press conferences. Here's the latest example.
And so I went down in my 51 Plymouth with beach towels for seat covers. And I had my uniform on, my spikes off. I ran in, and the woman, whose name was Mary, who ran the place. I said, "Mary, where's Dad?" She said, "He's out in the lane going into the repair shop." Give him my word, true story. And my dad was a well-dressed, refined fella, and I walked out, and my dad was pacing back and forth between the big garage door going into the repair shop and the door going out of the showroom.
All right, we're gonna let the president continue his stories, which can go on and on.
I mean, I'd rather have a young president who's out partying, but actually passes policies that benefit our lives. But I don't know, different strokes for different folks, I guess.
That was a Newsmax host that actually interrupted him, but it was the first time that a Newsmax host has spoken for the country.
Right.
I mean, that story actually started much earlier. I was like, when is this story going to end? Okay, can we please get some lesbians in the bathroom and like make this an interesting country? So, okay, look, guys, think about it. I don't want you to gloss over one thing that Anna just said there. Finland is ranked as literally the happiest country in the world. Even their controversies are happy. She parties too much. She's got lesbians in the bathroom. No wonder they're thrilled. They're all finishing all the time. Anyway.
Oh, Cenk.
Okay, wrong. Okay, so first of all, let her go. Let her go. Why is she even doing a tearful apology? What are you apologizing for? You weren't even there. If some randos in your bathroom, that doesn't have anything to do with you. And by the way, sister, watch your back. Obviously, some of your friends are selling you out. Okay.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it definitely sucks that they're doing that. But you can plant lesbians in anybody's bathroom. I mean, go to Mar-a-Lago. There's nuclear secrets in the bathroom. You think you can't put two lesbians there and take a picture? Forget the guests. Melania Trump has pictures of her being lesbian and naked and making out with other women. That was our first lady. And we don't mind. That's okay. The left doesn't mind. We don't care at all, right? And the right wing in this country say, oh, you better not talk about the first lady like that. Everybody knows the right biblical thing to do is you make out with other chicks when you're naked. Okay, then why are we having this controversy in Finland? I don't get it. And so look, guys, and of course the real reason, I understand perfectly. I'm about to explain it to you. This is a telltale right-wing attack. Yep. When they don't like your policies, they attack you on sex because sex it attracts the most amount of attention and it doesn't have to make sense. You just show two lesbians making out in a room you weren't even in, and you force the prime minister into a tearful apology because people flip out over sex. They're like, oh, sex, oh my God, forget everything else that was helping me. That's it, I hate you, okay? And so look, you see it time and time again. Here in this country, they once targeted Juan Cole, who's a professor. They didn't want him getting a better job because he was against the Iraq war. That was Dick Cheney who had targeted him. And Professor Cole had a hilarious line where he said, thank God my sex life is so boring, okay? And they didn't get anything on him. With Elliot Spitzer, they said they were gonna target his sex life. They did, and it worked. People forgot that he was the sheriff of Wall Street and was actually holding big bankers accountable. All they could remember was the black socks. And that was a Roger Stone special. It works, it works. So that's why she must be doing something really positive on policy. That's why you're seeing story after story on just frivolous stuff that is tangentially related to sex to distract and to get people to dislike her for illegitimate reasons.
So there is one caveat. You say that it works, but the caveat is it only works if they get you to apologize. And I really, really wish she hadn't have done a tearful apology because that's in their minds admitting guilt. And she did nothing wrong. Like what? You don't have control over other people kissing in your home. It's and even so, it doesn't matter. It's who cares? Like it's not a national scandal unless you agree that it's a national scandal. So don't let it be a national scandal.
Well, Anna, as you know, sometimes it works even if you don't apologize, or if you apologize in a way that makes sense. So look, as the right wing targeted me, the establishment targeted me, and first they try to ask every woman at TYT about sexual harassment, and it didn't work because I hadn't done anything. And they're like, well, God damn it, that didn't work, right? And then they tried one thing after another until they found blogs that were like 20 years old. And then people were like, oh, good enough. Who cares? And the New York Times wrote the same crap as the most extreme right-wing media blogs. Because when they set for somebody for character assassination, they're gonna assassinate their character one way or another, right? And so all of these things, as absurd as they are, even if she didn't apologize, are starting to pile up against her. So you see in that polling, like 39% saying, well, that's not how a prime minister should conduct herself. Now it's all of a sudden 39% when it should be 0%.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like when politicians, especially politicians I like, go on the offense. So my press conference would have been shaming people and all the weird perverts who are like seeking out these pictures, right? I mean, it's just like Clarence Thomas, like what a creep. Like sitting there thinking about other people having sex in the privacy of their own homes, like weirdo. Yeah. So I would go on the offense and I would attack them and call them absolute creeps for seeking out the imagery, seeking out, whatever salacious content they can find to try to destroy her when she's clearly been an effective leader. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, period. Yeah. We all have our work lives and we have our personal lives. And what we do for fun is not our employer's business. And in this case, it's not the voters' business that she likes to have a good time and dance. She's super young. She's like in her 30s.
Yeah,
First
she's
of all,
36.
let me just say, I'm in my, she's the same age as me. Like, I give her credit for leading a country and still having the energy to want to go out dancing. That blows my mind. Like,
yeah, 100%. So as usual, Anna, I agree with you and I want to double down. If somebody, if I'm the prime minister and I got that kind of power, somebody comes after me like that, and she's already popular and she's doing the right things, etc. I would say, hey, listen, people keep leaking pictures from inside my house. You invade my privacy one more goddamn time. And then what I'm hearing from you is you're opening the door for whoever this is for me to look into your private matters. Okay? Because I'm not the one coming into your goddamn house. You wanna know what's happening in my bathroom? I'm gonna find out what's happening in your bathroom.
Yes.
So watch your goddamn step, okay? That's how you do it. Because you know why? Then you flip the frame not only in terms of being strong, but you've told people this is a violation of my goddamn privacy. And I'm not gonna stand for it, because if they violate my privacy, they might violate your privacy, okay? And then I would have fun with it online. I'd start the hashtag, let her finish.
Cenk.
What?
No, I will not allow it.
What?
No, I'm against it.
I'll tell you this, I'm not apologizing.
Oh, you know what? I'll allow that.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.